Hello and welcome to Open Book. I'm joined today by my partner, Jen Ryan, by Joe Murphy, who is our editor and in-house cover designer, Danielle DeVore, who is our editorial assistant, and by some of our absolutely fabulous writers, including Sean T. Poindexter, Luann Carroll, Mac Little, S.A. Larson, and Agnes Jane. Did I miss anybody? I think I got us all. From Luann Carroll, we have literary news. Luann, you want to tell us what today's topic is?
Today we're discussing what non-readers don't understand about book addicts. I had two friends, Debbie Marzeline and Mary Lou, come into Torrey, and we used to hit the bookstores every weekend. So I had asked one of them, Mary Lou, if she would read one of my books before I sent it into the publisher. And she said, "I'm the one that stood outside while you and Debbie got lost in the bookstore." And I was surprised because Debbie and I always went to the bookstores. I never even considered that my girlfriend didn't even care about going. And it got me to thinking that there are some things that non-readers just don't get about book addicts. One of them is that book addicts love bookstores. I don't know if it's the smell of the glue themselves or if it's the covers and the colors. But, you know, going into a bookstore is just a total sensory experience for somebody who loves books. And I never thought that I would be able to take that and move it over into an ebook by holding a Kindle in my hand. So the Kindle sat in my drawer for like 3 weeks. I didn't do it because I figured they're going to like this. Well, then one night I didn't have any books to read. So I picked up the Kindle and I just had back surgery. And before you knew it, I discovered the whole world of Kindles. Experience how you can have all these books on this one device. And people my age, often I talk to them and they say they prefer, a book in their hand and, they like the feel of the cover and all that, which I get. But a Kindle was an eye-opening experience to me. And so for people my age, I would really encourage them to try it. You can get them so cheap nowadays, and you can get a whole book for 99 cents. That is just an awesome deal and a really incredible learning experience, again, for somebody who's in their 60s. Anybody have anything to say?
I'd like to chime in, Luann. I was with you, and I struggled with the whole e-reader phenomenon happened because I spend hours, libraries, bookstores, my house is full of books. I have, books everywhere. And my husband at the time, actually we were just dating, and for Christmas one year, he got me a Kindle. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But, I really was like, I can't use this in my hand. And it sat, like you said, for a while, and finally we were going to take a trip, and I was going in the plane, and I thought, okay, now I'll try it, because then I don't have to pack, 20 books in my suitcase and take it home my room for years. And I really fell in love with it at the same time, because you can have 20 books, 100 books, however many books on one device. That being said, I don't think it replaces books. I mean, I still have, shelves and shelves of books in my home. I still go to the library, bookstores when you can find them. So I think there's a place for both in today's world. I think that as a book lover, we have room, in our hearts and homes for e-readers as well as, printed, bound books.
I don't know about you guys, but I have books everywhere. There's a book or two or three in my bathroom. I have them in my living room, in my glove compartment, in my briefcase. And now I have a Kindle, of course, at work, and I have one at home. One of the things that I found out that I really liked about the Kindle was it didn't matter where I was. I have a big purse that I carry, so I also have one in there. But if I'm standing in line at the grocery store or I'm over at the bank, I mean, you can either grab your phone, which you've got a Kindle on, and you can start reading from there, or you can grab your Kindle, so you're never bored. I mean, you've always got something to do. I suppose that could be addictive, but it's having them, especially for somebody who likes to read as much as I do. There's all things that I have also for people that have chronic diseases and Crohn's disease. So, I mean, having that Kindle at my hand, I'm not always well enough to where that I can just go to a bookstore to grab a book. So this way with my Kindle, you know, I've always got something there available that I can read. They're also like a personal life raft. You know, they're for people who write. Sometimes most people are introverts, right? Are most of you introverts or are you extroverts?
I'm 100% extrovert.
Yeah, me too.
I'm an introvert.
I don't know if you've noticed, I do have a tendency to try and make myself the center of attention.
But they're like inhabited island. It's like you can take your book and you can go to this island and you can just, it's like you're there and you're there all by yourself, whether you're in line at the grocery store or you're in line at the bank. You don't have to make eye contact with people. You don't have to say hello, although you probably should if you're an author. But you know, it's just a nice way to escape everyday life. And reading for me is just the best thing. It saved my life when I was a little kid. So, I mean, thank God I had books to read. And of course that morphed into writing books as well. So, you know, I mean, and e-readers are also really good because if you drop ice cream on them or chocolate, you can wipe them off. The problem with an e-reader is you can't take them into the bathtub. So there's a place for e-readers and there's a place for books.
Oh, I have mine in my tub. Not in my tub, but holding it up.
Do you actually take it in there?
Heck yeah.
Oh, it won't electrocute you if you drop it in the bath water?
No, that's
hard to keep it up.
That's just it won't electrocute you. That's just something they do in Bond movies where you throw a toaster in the water and it kills them. That doesn't happen.
So, okay, I'll have to try it.
Just don't drop it.
Yeah, don't try out the toaster thing. I'm only 99% sure on that.
No. You know, you should see some of my books though that go with me into the bathtub. The pages are all wrinkled and they stick out in wrong directions, and obviously they've been wet and then they've been dried and then they're wet again and dried again. So I'm better off leaving my Kindle out. For sure I'll wreck it. So one of the things was I asked my Facebook followers where places that they keep their books. Answers, like I said, some of them keep them. One lady had this really great idea, is in her chair. She sticks her Kindle in between the cushion and the armrest. So she always knows it's there if she needs it. It's possible to lose it that way. That's a good thing. And I always keep one in my glove compartment. So do you need strange places where you like to keep them?
Books? No,
Books.
I don't take books with me anymore. It's just it's my Kindle. And being techno queen, the minute Kindle came out, I think I waited maybe 6 months, second generation, and then I'm on my third Kindle right now. So I've got my Kindle Fire, because I have so many books that I read, and with submissions and everything, and I read them on my Kindle. So it's just next to me usually. Right now it's in the family room getting charged.
Yeah, I'll say one thing about Kindles, because you might be able to tell I've got a few books behind me. I have actually kind of an entire library in the basement with about 5 times as many books. So I'm a bit of a book addict. One thing I like about the Kindle is as you get a little older and your eyesight starts to change a little bit, and for those of us that have to wear bifocals on a regular basis, the Kindle is really nice because you can change how big the words are. It's also a little nicer for reading in bed at night because it's got the back.
That's very true.
So and that's usually when I do a lot of my reading is when I'm trying to go back to sleep. I suffer from a little bit of insomnia, so I'm often trying to fall asleep. So I'm a big fan of the Kindle for that reason. Again, it has not impacted my buying of actual physical books, and I often buy the book and the Kindle at the same time.
I tend to buy more physical books than I do Kindle, mostly because the Kindle is heavier to me. It's about the same weight as a hardback, and I have a bad wrist, and so holding up a physical book is easier for me than holding the Kindle constantly to read.
My Kindle's lighter than my books, so I like it for the same reason. Anyone else?
The Kindle just opened up a whole new world, and I'm so grateful that I ran out of books to read so that I could actually try it.
So glad you could be with us today. Join us next time when we have another exciting segment of Open Book.